Hey guys, hello, hello, can you hear me? Hi Frank, good morning. Oh my God, can you hear me guys? I can't hear you. Let me check my, unmute. I see, can you please unmute? Yeah, no, you unmute already.
Hello?
Hello Frank, what's up?
Yes, I am awake, yeah.
So,
How's it
I
going?
see, who's I see?
I don't know.
I see Mercan. Can you please turn on your speaker in your camera? Uh-huh. Mhm. So today you are the host. I'm going to make you a host. Okay?
Okay.
So let me
Yeah, I guess.
let me okay, full screen. Host. So what I'm gonna okay, here you go. Host. Okay, there you go. Mhm. You're the
Okay.
host. You're the host now.
All right.
Yes, you have power to control us. Uh,
So, she left. I don't know.
Hello.
Is she on the group? Hey, Tom, how's it going?
Hello. Hi. Thanks.
Hello, Tom.
Hello. Hello.
What's
How
up?
are you?
I'm great.
Fine. Thanks.
Oh,
Weather is here rainy, and so it's fine because it was dry time lately.
mhm.
So now it's perfect.
Nice.
Frank, you are early bird again because it's morning at your
Yeah,
side, I think.
it's 7 a.m., yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but that's fine.
It's too
you get
early.
you get you get up very early because you had time to send a comment, which I appreciate a lot. You know.
Yeah, I was gonna do it last night, but yeah, I'm gonna do it in the morning. So it's better.
Uh-huh.
So yeah. But it was great, it was I mean, I didn't say that it was perfect. Of course, we're not looking for perfection, but the perfect thing is like you did it just naturally. I mean, you didn't have to read or prepare anything. You just express your thoughts freely.
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
I tried, to speak it from my head, not to read, because I hate people who are preparing something and then read it. And this exercise is not about reading, but about speaking. So
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, me too. I don't prepare. I just read the articles and some of those questions. Anyway, I uploaded my video to our Facebook group.
Hmm.
I just took a
It's
short
uploading right
video.
now.
Maybe you
I
can
haven't seen
watch
it.
that one later. I know I had
Yeah.
a lot of mistakes.
Okay.
I
That's
can
fine.
was that correct myself. I wrote I have a lot of mistakes. It's okay. Yes.
I checked out opinion in the dialogue about this our challenge group. It was opinion from Barbara from Poland.
Hmm.
She's also, and she told that it is not good when we participate in several groups because
Definitely.
in this case
Definitely.
nothing is good because
Yeah, yeah.
observed it also in my case because I haven't
Oh,
done
really?
the task for Stephanie's
Me
group
too.
because I had no time.
So busy. So I haven't done any task this week. Oh,
Hmm.
Abby,
Wow.
Abby, she's
Evie, Evie.
here. Uh-huh.
Yeah, she joined.
Glad to see you here. Hmm.
Hey, Evie.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hi,
Welcome
guys.
to our live. Glad to see you here. How are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And
So
you?
today Frank is our host.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know what, I mean, should we talk about the, I haven't seen your video yet. I guess, Adeline, you could
Uh-huh.
start by telling me your opinion, maybe answering the questions about the questions I made, or just a general
No,
opinion about
just
the topic.
general in the article.
Yeah, in a general way, yeah, of course.
Answer all those
Yeah,
questions.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
this is all about blind date. Have you experienced guys about blind date?
I didn't have occasion to blind date, which is perfectly blind, but I was once engaged by my friends in a date, which was the girl which I was to meet. I didn't know about her nothing, and
Mhm.
uh, after this meeting, she is my wife now.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Nice.
Ah,
It was a friend. It was a friend of my other friend, which I knew earlier, and this friend thought that it would be good to to make her friend of mine. So it was like in old times there were special persons in the villages, and there were old women usually, and these old women knew everyone in the village, and so their work was to meet young people and to engage them in some relationships. It was special name for this woman. I must to check it out, but it was it was the institution, like an institution in the villages in the old times, and these old women were responsible for creating new relationships among young people.
Mhm.
I don't know
Mm.
if in your cultures this phenomena was also present. This institution of old women, which who makes new relationships between young people.
No.
In the Philippines, there are many cases happen in the Philippines. Old women have a relationship with a young man, and
Mhm,
sometimes old men also married to a young girl, a young woman. So yeah,
mhm,
vice versa.
mhm,
And
Mhm.
me too. Before I took to my video, yeah, I also experienced about blind date before my husband because when the first time I met my husband, I didn't know him at all. I just met him because of my boss. My boss introduced to me, and then yeah, it's quite terrible because I can't speak Korean, and also my husband can't speak English. So it's quite challenging, especially our conversations for the first meeting. And I
Mhm.
felt shy. Also, my husband also shy. So, but
Wow.
we just use the translation, the translator, to have a conversation. So it's
Yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah. It's really interesting.
But yeah, it happens. And yeah, now we're married. Yeah.
You know, I was, I don't know, were you want to say anything else about that
Mhm.
before I go?
No, no, no. It's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I was having a conversation with Evie the other day. I think it was a couple of days ago.
Uh-huh.
It's on Instagram. It's recorded. It's like it was
Yeah,
live,
yeah, yeah,
live.
yeah. Uh-huh. I watch
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, and yeah. So she basically she told me and what she thought about the article. I don't know if maybe Tom you didn't have the chance to actually listen to her opinion, Tom, about Evie's opinion, but
Only partially, because I had no time to listen to all the conversation. But
yeah, of
it
course.
was great that you and her had such long conversation, because it was her first time on live, and it was pretty good. And she was, I think she was wonderful as the first time on live. She wasn't intimidated at all. It seems to me. As for these institutions, I also heard that in India, for example, the marriages are created by the parents, and the parents are responsible for choosing the
Mm-hmm.
partners. So the blind
Yeah,
date is really European or American invention, I think. This is, but I think that this institution of blind date is a failure. It's a horrible thing, and it's a uh, it's mm, a fact which is result of lacking of contacts with persons at all, because there are less and less contacts between people, and these contacts, these relationships are moving to the virtual space, and we we are less talking to each other, we are less make less conversation, and these blind dates are desperate trial to improve these contacts, to improve the relationships. And to be honest, I think it is not a good way to improve this.
Blind date.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Evie, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. I just movie the place because here a little noise because are doing like
Okay.
rebuilding in the garage. So, but I'm
Great.
here now.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna ask you about, Thomas was saying something about there's this institute over there in Poland that is like it's led by women or something like that, if I
It's
understood
not
correctly.
it's not an institute. It's a not formal. It's an institution, a so-called institution. That there are
Mm,
women in the villages. They were women in villages who known everybody in the village, and they were pretty familiar with all the families, and they have orientation. What are the possibilities? Who is looking for marriage? Who is free? And they could connect people, the people whose possibilities are to get engaged in family, in marriage. So it was not formal institution. It was
so they are like cupids, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, mhm.
So, Evie, in Brazil, do you have anything, something like that, something related with that? Because I don't know if in my country, what do you
I
think?
don't know. I think no. Maybe in the small cities, but you have like this. Now you have like apps to do this job. Yeah.
Yeah, now
Yes.
with the apps, everything is different.
Yeah. But maybe there are in the small cities. But I don't
Yeah,
know.
Mm-hmm.
I find that really really wow interesting. That so-called institution, like you said. I mean, it sounds like something like really ancient that is been going on from
Mm,
hundreds of years or something like that, and it stayed like that, and it's still
mm.
going on right now in this day and age.
Yes, you know, in small villages, in small communities,
Hmm.
this institution is still present, and I think it is really good because this person knows all, maybe not all, but they know many things about families, about their about their financial status, for example, and what is possible, and who has many who has many daughters, and the daughters are looking for husbands, and uh, this person could invent occasion, could create situation, and even I think that I would not make an error, but it was the custom that these persons were gratified for this activity. So it was paid. It was custom to pay for these services for to this woman. If
Hmm.
the marriage was successful, this woman get paid for the families.
Wow.
Great.
Yeah. And about the concept of the blind dates, I don't think I was talking about that the other day with Evie. And yeah, I think that's something like really American. You know, the American pop culture is like
Mhm.
a friend introduce you with someone, but you don't really know him or know her. But I think in this day and age, it can be even dangerous. What do you guys think? I mean,
Mhm.
especially for women.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, and relating to the percentage of the family of the marriages who are stable, and it is even more dangerous because nowadays in Europe only 50% of family of marriages are stable. 50% are divorcing. So
Hmm.
the connections between the people are very weak, and uh, I think that the reason of this weak connections, of this not stable marriages, could be that people are not very well informed before the marriage about their characters, about their background, about mm, their goals in life. So when you don't know what your partner goals in life are, what is precious for this partner, what the really wealth, what the really worth is in life for the partner, the relationship couldn't be stable, couldn't be for a life. It could be only for the first period when the the most important in the first period of marriage is only physical relationships, sex, and so on. And
Yeah.
after it is inevitable that after the first period, when the first feelings vanish, you must base your marriage on the stable and deep goals that are common in your lives. Hello,
Yeah.
German.
Hello,
Hi.
Jermaine.
Can you hear
Hey,
me?
Jermaine.
Yes,
Yeah, can you
we
hear
hear
me?
you.
Hi.
Yeah.
We have new participant,
Great.
Abby.
Jermaine.
Yeah, because I just have a call before I just ready to turn on the Zoom and then just have received a call.
Okay.
Mhm.
Jermaine, we're gonna go back with you, but first I want to ask something to Evie first, and then I'm gonna ask you something to you, okay?
Yes, okay.
Okay, Evie, I don't know, maybe you haven't had the chance to watch the Thomas video in the group, but basically he was saying something that is really interesting, and something I was thinking actually. and the factorability of this experiment, of this research in a couple of strangers, can be biased right now. I mean, can be tainted because one of them, or even both of them, can know the questions in advance and can be prepared how to answer. And they
Mm,
can just show you what, I mean, just hide everything and just show you what you want to see. So what do you think about that?
yeah, I didn't think about it.
Let me put on my earphone.
All right.
Something very interesting. I didn't think about it, and yeah, maybe the two strangers like are actors. It's not to be good. Um,
Yeah.
but something that I think that these questions can be good for the people fall in love, but fall in love I think is a little different to love, you know. For love is something like it starts, but love is something that stay after the time. So
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So Jermaine, can you hear me?
yeah,
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Jermaine,
German.
I don't know. I
Mm.
haven't watched your video yet. I think you haven't posted it.
Yeah, post
So
it.
I didn't see it, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah, I
did
saw
you
it.
ask, did you answer to my post, or did you post it individually?
Yes, I put under Tom. I put under
Uh,
Tom.
okay, I'm gonna watch it later. I'm sorry, I didn't see it,
Okay.
the notification when it.
Okay.
I noticed Tom, I noticed Evie and Ming and Rebecca, but I didn't see yours.
Okay.
Anyway,
I
so
put
I'm
under
gonna ask you.
Tom. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm
So
gonna ask you. What do you think? In an overall, like in a general way, about the article, about the
okay. The first
experiment?
question. You mean the first
Hmm.
question?
Yeah.
You
Okay.
mean the first question? Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Um, I think the 36 question really works.
Okay.
Really works. It's a shortcut to, because when you people before two people get known to each other, then they have a period of time they talk with each other. So those questions are shortcut to the content they're going to communicate. So I think those 36 questions really relevant, really works.
Hmm.
That's why I'm afraid to take the challenge, because I'm afraid if I take the challenge, when I was young, maybe I would take the challenge because I want to have more love. But now I think that's too much for me. I can't stand it. So I will not take the challenge now.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. Don't worry. We're not gonna read the questions here because we are not gonna fall in love with each other. So yeah.
Yeah. So I think those questions are shortcut really,
Like
because
a
you need a
shortcut.
long time to go depth into to talk about those conversations in such a depth. But now it's a
Hmm.
shortcut. So um, the topic you won't share about it with each other, then you just got to try to share it in that now. But those, maybe you're not telling the truth, but at least you try to please the other partner by telling him something.
Yeah. So, Adeline, what do you think about what Thomas said about being dishonest? What answering this question?
About dishonest.
Yeah, if you are dishonest while answering, while doing this experiment, if you are not telling the truth, if the other person is not telling the truth.
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing if the person knows that later on that you're just telling a lie for the first
Hmm.
time. So maybe that person won't be able to trust you anymore. So at least for the first time you met person, you should tell the truth. Because if you have a longer relationship in the future and then they found out, or he or she found out that you are lying for the first time, maybe it's not good. So trust with a person.
But I have a question. In case two people is interacting, sometimes you can tell by non-verbal. For example, you see your partner is hesitate or keep silence, then you
Hmm.
understand maybe he has second thought. then you may not be telling the truth immediately or confront her or confront your partner.
Mhm.
So even though you are telling the truth, but you're not telling lies, but you keep reserve. That
Mhm.
means you're not you do not
Ah,
actively tell lies, but
yeah,
you didn't open to say confrontation.
yeah, yeah. I got your point. Because sometimes for the first time person also, when I met someone, I don't really trust that someone that I tell all my details, my information. Sometimes I also tell a lie. But in the future, I'll just tell the truth. Oh, I'm sorry because I was not. I don't really believe someone for the first time, so that's why I did like this. So I just explain later on, so she or she
So
want.
that's to me that's not telling the lies. That's telling a lie. That is just be conservative.
Yeah.
Just be conservative, but not telling the lie. Telling the
Sometimes
lie is actually telling the wrong
tell
information.
favor, right?
But you are not telling the wrong information. You just keep your things to yourself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, preserving your information.
That's not real. That's not lies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. I agree.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but
Regarding
I
to these
think.
questions, sorry. Regarding to these questions, I think that there were two types of them. One type was very di- about very discreet, very private things, and there were these questions I couldn't understand honestly because they were too intruding. And the second type, as I told, they were more open. For example, the question about goals in life, I could tell about it with a stranger also because this question is open. It's not about my privacy. It's not about my family, and I have to protect my family because it is I think it's a very ancient primitive feeling. I have to protect my family, and I don't want to reveal all the bad things about my family to the completely stranger because it is very dangerous for my family. It
Yeah,
could
yeah,
it could
yeah.
jeopardize my family
I agree.
in the future. Somebody could give this information and use them against my family, for example. So it is
Yes,
it is
me too.
very it is very dangerous to talk about the details from life of my family, about my mother, for example, about how I was raised up. It is dangerous. But if I were asked about what is precious for me in my life, what I like in my life, these are the topics which are safe and could be discussed even with a complete stranger. And these topics could make closeness, uh, create the feeling of closeness among the partners. So I have mixed feelings about this question because some of them were perfect to improve the relationships, and some of them were very aggressive. But I don't know. Maybe it was the intention of this psychologist that
Mhm.
if the person answers such a questions, it is also an answer, because if I am free to talk about my family and I have no obligations to reveal such a delicate details, so maybe I am a psychotic. I am not very healthy on my mind, and I could be, I should be taken away as a candidate for marriage because I am dangerous, because I reveal such details about my family.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe, Tom. But the thing is, like, you don't feel. Maybe you don't. It's like maybe I see it the same way. You don't feel like you have the need to do something like this because for what reason? I will only do it just out of curiosity, but you know, I think I was watching a video of this Dr. Aaron, the one who made the experiment, and he was telling that he started with easy questions and trivial kind of questions. It's like to make you open up, because the real questions are the more meaningful are the last one, because there are three sets of 12 questions, and the last set is like the most important one to actually get open up entirely, because he said that they has to be done in the same order that is stated, because if you do it in a random order, it's not going to be the same, because if you start right away like telling all your darkest secrets and your deepest secrets right at the beginning, that you're going to scare your partner, so yeah, there's a meaning. And he's actually a social psychologist, and I have a theory about him, but I will be like judging him. I don't know anything about him, to be honest, but I will say like he started his research in the 60s. He was telling like he fell in love with his wife, and then he wondered why. What was the reason? Like a scientist, he's just a man of science, is a man of curiosity. He just wants to know the reason why. So he started with that research, and he made that experiment. Apparently, the first one who made the first pilot experiment, they fell in love and they got married. Like you said, okay, 7 minutes left. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna introduce to Christian. So he's here. Christian.
Yeah, Christian, he's here. You only have 7 minutes left.
Yeah.
Later
Yeah, we can try again.
Connect.
Yeah. Christian.
Christian, can you hear us? Hello, Christian.
Did you
Yes.
hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I hear you now.
Yeah, I'm here. But do you look at me?
No,
No.
can you please turn on your cam?
Yes.
Oh, you.
And this Mr. Aaron was in American background, or because the family name and first name suggest he is from Israel.
I don't know where is he from, to be honest. But yeah, what I was gonna say about him is like, he could have released that experiment. He released it in 1997. I thought it was earlier, but the maybe he's a social psychologist. He's like specialized in the social aspect and the people in overall, not so much in an individual aspect. So I think that he may be trying to do something like viral, maybe to get to know his name, to people to know his name. And I can see Christian now.
I think that now I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Christian. There's 5 minutes left on the meeting, but we're gonna start it again. So since you're new here, so what's up?
So, do you want a little introduction about me?
Yeah, cool.
Well, I'm Christian and I'm 17 years old, and now I'm studying in my last year of high school. I'm from Mexico, and now I'm studying English. I try to practice it. I have been studying English throughout 2 years almost, and I like to read books, to play video games, also to do exercise. I like to try to keep healthy, and and I think that because here I am to improve my speaking skills, to meet to meet you too, and thanks. And I think that that's all.
Nice to meet you, man. You know, I don't know if you're familiar with the topic this week. We're talking about this research about love and 36 questions to make you fall in love. What do you think about that?
I took a look yesterday, and I'm a little bit familiar, but I'm not sure. I can't I can listen to you, and then I can practice.
Great. Yeah, I'm interested in Christian opinion because the age difference matters a lot here. You know, I mean, he's totally from a different generation. If he's also pretty young, but Christian is so much younger. I mean, he's 17 years old. I'm really curious about his opinion about this exactly this thing. But I guess it's gonna be in the next meeting because I mean, there's 30 minutes left. But I want us to finish my idea on the video I watched, and I think that I have the theory that maybe he finally published this with trying to look for attention, you know, like try to he maybe he might have wanted to how to say it. It's like he wanted to go viral. He thought that eventually he was gonna go viral. I mean, in 1997, the internet it was just starting to be a thing, and he finally did. He went viral like in 2013 or 15 or something like that, with this New York Times article, and people started replicating it in YouTube. So I think he succeeded with that. I don't know what do you think about that. If you thought about that even.
I had an impression, it was like that he wanted, as I said in my video, it was kind of like how to make love for dummies. It was a handbook how to easy and quick make a partnership and find a love partner, because in a modern world when there is no time for any social deep relations, you have to be quick and you have to be effective. Like Frank suggested, it is a production of marriages, production process of production of new marriages should be effective, quick, and most important, easy. So it is a handbook for people how to make it quick and easy, and it is very similar to the other handbooks which are very common on market. And I personally hate all these coaches which are very often visible on the internet, and which advise us how to live well, how to be healthy, how to earn a lot of
Five
money.
methods, 5 ways to 10 ways,
And
10 ways to
yeah,
stay healthy,
yeah,
11 ways
and
to find a
and the
lover.
most and the most important in this is to learn that you have to make such a video and stay a coach to advise other people how to make a great life. And this is the this is the best way to be happy, to be a coach to the other people. it is it is it is it is the easiest way of have a great life, to advise other people. And I have